What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we're here today with the episode review of Life After Lockup Season 3, episode number 46. And the episode is titled Love at Second Inmate. Y'all know who that's about. But without further ado, you guys, let's get into this review. But before we do get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I need you guys to just do me a big solid favor and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else, and share the video. And then I was just gonna say, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you know, do all that stuff. Like. Now, with that out the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Life After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys. So the first couple that we're going to discuss is going to be BRITNEY and MARCELINO, you guys. So with BRITNEY and MARCELINO, you guys remember in last week's episode, BRITNEY was talking about the fact that, you know, she was investing with this guy named Robert, that they were going to open up the sober living house, right? And you guys remember that he took the money somewhere in the amount of about $80,000, right? Now, thank you guys for correcting me in the comment section about the fact that, you know, felons can get, you know, checking accounts. I don't know why maybe it was just her friend that can't get, oh, okay. That might have been what it is. Her friend maybe can't get a checking account, because I know if you do something involving the financial institution, it might be a little bit harder for you to get an account, right? But yeah, thank you guys for clearing that up on me, right? So this episode, I was looking at BRITNEY, right? I noticed one thing about BRITNEY. BRITNEY. BRITNEY is driving a Mercedes Benz. I'm like, oh, so you don't upgrade it from the minivan to a Benz. I'm like, girl, you got money. How much is WeTV paying y'all? Can I come over there? Like, can I find somebody, you know, to come over there with? Because, yeah, that's a lot. You got money. And especially out there in Vegas with them high-ass gas prices in Vegas. Because when we were in Vegas, gas was $3.89, something like that. I'm like, damn, y'all might as well just round that bitch up to $4. Because, damn. All right. So she's meeting her friend, right? So her friend tells her that they are meeting with a retired cop. Brittany's like, oh no, a retired cop. Like, can I speak to my friend for a minute? Because Brittany felt a little way about the retired cop. I'm like, girl, why? This man just stole your money. Worry about that. So they sit down and talk with him, right? Now they are under the assumption that Robert is probably back on drugs. I'm like, so why would y'all give a man that y'all knew or had suspicions was on drugs anywhere near between $80,000? I wouldn't even give you $1 if I think you on drugs. Sorry to say it, I'm not gonna do it. So then, you know, they said that he told them they had to put that money up to show that they could pay a certain amount of rent a month. But y'all hadn't gotten y'all hadn't got a building at that point. So a building, a property, or anything at that point. So what were y'all putting? I mean, I get it in a small. I get, you know, when you go get an apartment, right? People want to know that you can pay that amount of money in rent a month. But until you know exactly how, like, why not go around why not price, like, if you're gonna get a house, why not price houses out in your area, see how much they run a month, and then go from there. Like, if you're gonna get a building, see how much shit costs, do the research, see how much the shit costs, and then do that. But even still, when you do that, don't put just one person's name on the checking account. Hell no, because that gives that person the sole right to do whatever they want with the money. So I think that's a little stupid. And then they said that they didn't even sign a contract. They have a verbal contract. No, ma'am, I don't do verbal contracts, right? Only way I would do a verbal contract is if I got it on a recording. That is the only way. If we finna do business together and it's short notice, I'm a handwrite a contract, and you gonna sign it. Or I'm gonna say, you know what, give me some time, let me research this. I'm gonna go research it, how to write a business plan, how to write a contract, get a lawyer involved. I don't give a shit. You are not going to take my shit. It ain't gonna happen. So then, the guy telling them that they can file a police report and this can be investigated, right? Because it's embezzlement. Better, next time, BRITNEY, research is your best friend. And a contract, too. But let's move on. All right, guys. Next up, let's talk about Amber and Puppy. So we see Amber and her and Puppy. They're back. So Amber, you guys remember last season, Amber dumped Puppy to go be with Sammy, right? So now Amber is concerned about Puppy. So she went to see her. She went to see Puppy's mother, right? So Puppy, Amber, like I said, Amber hasn't, Amber actually called Puppy and went to voicemail. Actually, the voicemail was full. So then she went to see her mom. I think her mom's name is Kathy. Is that correct? You guys can correct me. Only one person, but correct me. I think her mom's name was Kathy. So she went to her house, right? So you guys remember Kathy had to go, do some treatments, right? So she tells her that, she's still doing her treatments, but she hasn't really saw Puppy in the last 2 weeks. And, the last time, she had to actually reschedule one of her appointments because Puppy did not come and take her, right? She says, but, she does tell her that Puppy didn't give her this address, and she hasn't heard from Puppy since then. With Puppy and Amber, right, I literally believe this is a storyline. I really believe that this is a storyline. Because you guys have to remember, Amber, and Puppy, they're on parole for 20 years, right? They can't make any mistakes. So and that was the thing that they played with last season, right? Was when they had Puppy with the drinking issues, they had her in that pool face down. Like with Amber and Puppy, I want to hope and believe and pray that Puppy wouldn't do anything to, put herself back in prison, right? But what, like, damn, you got to follow a straight and narrow. You got 20 years on probation. 20 years. That's a long fucking time. That is a long time. That means you can't even get into a fist fight with somebody, or they're gonna take your ass back. You barely get a traffic ticket. I don't even think they can get a traffic ticket, can they? That's fucked up though, right? Very fucked up. Very, 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 very fucked up. But Amber says, she'll go to the house and she'll see, she'll try to find Puppy, and she'll let her mom know what's up, right? So Amber, we see her back at home with her roommate, who she met in prison. Her name is Queen. And, she's telling Queen about the conversation that she had with, Puppy's mom. And, she wants to pull up to this house. And she was like, no, girl. Like, this could be a drug house. Like, we're on papers. Hell no. Nah. So she says, give me the address and let's look it up. So they look up the address on Google Maps. And she's like, okay, it's a solid looking neighborhood. Like, no boarded up houses, no this, no that, no guard dogs, no this, no that. So we can pull up. So they then do pull up to the house, right? And they were looking at it. They're like, yeah, everything seems to check out, but looks can be deceiving, right? Because Amber's talking about there's no guard dogs, there's no cameras, but the cops look for stuff like that, right? So then she goes up to the door and she knocks. Now before she went up to the door, Queen was asking her about her date with Sammy. She says it was good. Queen doesn't trust Sammy. I think Sammy was just too. I think Sammy got emotional issues, because I said that last season when we first met Sammy. Sammy got some emotional issues that he needs to deal with. But we're gonna move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about Brittany and Ray. So Brittany, girl, you still gonna insist on wearing that fat ass wig? Now, honestly, that wig, the hair that wig look like, the wig hair, right? It looks like it's braid hair, because if you look at it, it's crinkly in spots, right? It looks like braid hair to me, because I've seen braid hair and it just looks like the hair that you use to braid. I'm just like, damn, that wig is humped up, fucked up, and just jacked up. So Brittany and Ray, they're visiting his family. Ray looks good when he cleans up. I will say that. Ray looked really good in this episode, right? So Ray is talking to his family. He's like, I got something to tell y'all. I'm like, and they're like, what is it? He says, I got a job. They were like, oh, that's what's up. They were like, he says it's at a warehouse. He's gonna be making $15 an hour. I was like, $15 an hour? Damn. I mean, I guess. Are you at Amazon? Is there an Amazon in Houston? $15 an hour. I mean, he just got out of prison, so I'm not gonna shade him. I'm not shading him by no means. But damn, $15 an hour don't go that far here in Texas, and definitely not in Houston. Because if $15 don't go nowhere in Dallas, I know $15 ain't going nowhere in Houston. I've been to Houston plenty of times, and Houston is just a different version of Dallas, just a little bit blacker. And I mean, them prices in them apartments, them houses. Yeah, congratulations to him. But $15 an hour, and then he got to pay that restitution of $143,000. Now, here's my thing with Brittney, right? Brittney, wants to get married to Ray, but she doesn't want to take on his debt, right? I think that's really what Ray was telling you in the last week's episode, right? When he was talking about his restitution and, him not really wanting to rush a marriage, right? I think Ray is trying to protect you, you little dumbass. But Brittney is self-absorbed. Brittney is all about self. I really believe he's trying to protect you. I really think he is. Like, I don't think the man wants you to take on his debt. I think he's saying, hey, at least let me pay $143,000 though. Damn. I mean, y'all might as well get a civil union at this point. Because shit, $143,000, he gonna be paying on that motherfucker for until he dies. Ray is gonna be paying $143,000 in restitution until he dies. That is Jesus Christ. Whew. Lord. $143,000. Unless y'all gonna, unless this show gonna pay y'all unless this show is paying y'all, and then I know this show is paying y'all, so y'all got a little bit of money. But I'm pretty sure whatever the show is paying him, that restitution is probably taking that in the restitution. Oh, Jesus. Restitution. Damn. That's fucked up, huh? Okay. So then they talk about her family, right? So they talk about her mom, and she says that her mom doesn't want to meet him because she's very stubborn, and her mom expected her to marry someone with like an athlete or a, did she say an engineer? I believe she said an engineer. Brittney, you really think highly of yourself, don't you? But hey, who else, if you don't think highly of yourself, who else will, right? But you putting yourself on a high pedestal, like you putting yourself all the way up here. Come down. Get with a teacher. Get with a, because you're talking about you work 2 jobs, but you went to school. You hustling backwards. Did you graduate school is the question that I have. Did you graduate school? Because if you did, you hustling backwards. Now I'm not going to be like, oh my God, working 2. I've done it, right? I've done working 2 jobs. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's the worst that you could, it's terrible to work 2 jobs. But I worked 2 jobs because I needed to, because at that time I didn't have a car and I was trying to save up for a car. Once I got my car, I left that job. But there's a certain thing as having multiple streams of income, right? But I'm not about to work no 2 jobs ever again. And I say that. I don't ever want to work 2 jobs again in my life. It's just not fun. Like, when I got off from one job, I had to go to the next one. And I'm like, that's not. And then I get home, I'm tired, and I have to do YouTube. I'm like, this is tiring. So I get having multiple streams of income. Like, have your 9 to 5, and then if you have a side hustle that you want to do, like I got to the point where when I got my car, I did Uber Eats. I do Uber Eats. That's a hustle for me. That's just extra. That's just literally extra money for me. When that's just extra money. And YouTube will be extra. Like, it's just multiple streams of income, but not two jobs. Not 2 jobs. But I'm not knocking people who work 2 jobs. I'm definitely not. I'm just talking about Brittney in this particular instance. But let's move on. Oh, damn. All right, you guys. Let's talk about John and KRISTIANNA. John and KRISTIANNA. So KRISTIANNA was in the kitchen cooking, right? I don't know what the fuck she was cooking. It looked like she made an egg white. I don't know if that was an egg white or not, but I think it was an egg white. But here's the thing that's really throwing me for a loop with KRISTIANNA this season so far, right? Her eyebrows I'm looking at her eyebrows like I was talking to my cousin. Me and my cousin was watching it last night because she came in the living room. Jerome, you watching this? Yes, I'm watching this because what she was gonna do was she's gonna take the remote and channel surf. God, I love my cousin to death, but I can never watch TV with her. She channel surfs. Like when I tell you channel surf, she channel surfs. Whenever one show goes to a commercial, she jumps to another show. Then when that show goes to commercial, she goes to another show, or she'll go back to the show that she was previously watching. I'm like, what do you get out of that? Like, you done missed a good chunk of something. So if you miss something in the episodes, you gotta watch the rerun. I just don't get her, but hey, she does it. But we were talking about Kristianna's eyebrows. I noticed Kristianna has shaved her eyebrows off, right? But she drew them back on. One eyebrow is like this. The other one is like this. I'm like, girl, how did you do that? Like, your eyebrows are going two different directions. You know what? It's a woman in my hometown where I'm at right now currently. She used to work at Walmart. I don't know if she still works there because she was an overnighter. She was an overnight staff. She was part of the overnight crew. Because I have a thing when it comes to when Walmart used to be open 24 hours a day. My mom would be like, even when I moved out on my own, I wake up in the wee hours of the morning and want to go to Walmart and give me something to drink. Literally, I go to Walmart just to get when I used to drink sodas all the time, I would get a soda. When I drink juice, I go get juice or a soda. And I come home and drink it and go back to sleep. So there's this woman, she has no eyebrows. Kind of like what it's a Whoopi Goldberg situation. She has no eyebrows right here, right? And she's a light-skinned woman, but she pencils them in. Now I will say one thing about her eyebrows, they're even, but her eyebrows go up. They don't go that far up. They don't go up like this, but they go up. So they go up and down. Up and down. Like they look, actually, you know what? They look like the golden arches. They look like the McDonald's golden arches. No lie. Her eyebrows look like the McDonald's golden arches. But I was just looking at Kristianna's eyebrows like, damn, your eyebrows fucked up. Who did that to you? So she's still uneasy about John and Tara, right? But, John tells her that, she and Tara, nothing happened with them, right? So then his daughter comes over and she asks him, like, what's going on between you and Kristianna? He says, oh, I flirted with Tara. She's like, you flirted with her? Like, that's the next step. Like, flirting could lead to cheating. He's like, I know, but I don't feel anything for her. She's like, but you did that with your other relationships. And even Kristianna in her interview said he's cheated on his other wife. He says, and she's like, there's already issues. And you guys have only been, are they even legally married? Because, I mean, they had that Native American wedding. So I don't know if they're legally married. I don't really care, to be quite honest with you. Right? But she says, it's already bad sign with this relationship, huh? He says, well, your mom and I were married only a year in. We had issues, and I was with her for 20 years. Well, damn. Didn't you cheat on her mama with her cousin? You cheated on one of your wives with their cousin. Just I'm not going to judge. So then we see Joe Dirt and Kristianna. So they go out for the day, right? He has Bonnie and Clyde all over that van. I mean, he got it on the door. He got it on the window, on the back. I'm like, you really think you guys are Bonnie and Clyde, huh? Okay, go off, bro. So he and Kristianna going to go take photos. I'm like, and I looked at him when he put those clothes in the trunk. I'm like, okay. Then when he took them clothes out of the trunk, I was looking at him even further, especially when they put them on. I was like, those clothes are dingy as fuck. Like, you couldn't find an iron anywhere and iron those clothes. They're dingy as hell. And you want to take photos. Those are going to be the worst looking photos ever. So then he also gets down and he proposes to Kristianna again. Girl, if you like it, I love it. But I wouldn't be with that masquerading Native American. But let's move on and wrap the episode up with that dumbass Shawn. Child is dumb. Shawn is a dumbass. I have never saw someone as dumb as Shawn. Shawn is a complete fucking moron. So Shawn, his dumb ass, you guys remember, he has a new girlfriend by the name of Sarah, right? But remember, he's never met Sarah. He's just had phone conversations, emails, text conversations with Sarah. Sound familiar, right? And at the same thing with Destiny. He never met Destiny. He didn't even know what. I mean, he was on the fence about what Destiny was gonna look like. She could have been fat. She could have been this. She could have been that. But he's been talking to this girl for 6 years. I'm like, you ain't never once went to the prison to see her. But now you gonna up and move to Ohio for a woman you've never met. Shawn, you are a fucking idiot. And then once again, he's lied about how many damn kids he got. Like, are you ashamed of your kids? Your kids should be ashamed of you at this point. If somebody asked me if I was his kids and they said, I saw your dad on TV, I'd be like, who you talking about? Your dad. I don't know who that man is. I would Mariah Carey his ass. I do not know that man. I would, and I would probably do a Keke Palmer. Just no disrespect to that man, but I have no. What did she say? Whatever Keke Palmer said, I would Keke Palmer him and Mariah Carey that ass. I do not, my apologies to that man, but I don't know him. I don't know that man at all. So then we see his dumb ass as he finally picks up his new felon, right? So when they started kissing, I was like, oh, this is so disgusting. I realized she's short, right? His whole thing talking about her is he wants to have sex with her. I'm like, ew, Shawn. I wouldn't have sex with you if you paid me $1,000. That's just being nice. I wouldn't sleep with Shawn if you paid me $500. That's being even nice. I wouldn't sleep with Shawn if he paid me $50. Shawn, I wouldn't even sleep with him for $20. No amount of money would make a person. I don't understand what they see in Shawn. He must got the magic penis. Cause it must be your ass cause it ain't your face. It must be his dick cause it ain't his face cause he's a tip drill. I said it must be his dick cause it ain't his face cause he's a tip drill. Shawn is a tip drill. I mean, he's just ugly. I hate to call people ugly, but Shawn is just, he's not ugly. He's facially challenged. I'm going to take that from Ashley. Shout out to Ashley. He's facially challenged. Y'all can take that how y'all want to take it, right? So then Shawn is talking about when he met her, he's comparing her to Destiny, right? He says with Destiny there was red flags there, right? But there's no red flags with this woman. I'm like, but you just met her, so of course there's no red flags just yet. She just got out of prison. You just met her, so I'm pretty sure a red flag ain't gonna come right away. Unlike with Deontay and Nicole, the red flags were there immediately. But you just met her. Now, when Sarah told us why she was in prison, yeah, you can stay there. I'm not gonna, I don't want you. So Sarah was in jail for involuntary manslaughter. I was like, oh, you killed someone. No. Then she went further and told us she sold the person and she helped them do heroin and they unfortunately died. I was like, oh, no. See, this is another reason why I think that stupid ass that heartbeat bill here in Texas is dumb as fuck. Sex trafficking. Like, do y'all forget about sex trafficking? Like, yeah, like in that, I'm veering off just a smidge, right? In that bill, it didn't mention anything about rape or incest or even sex trafficking. So y'all want a woman that's either sex trafficked, raped, or raped and stuff to carry a fucking baby? Go to hell. So he bought her a phone. I'm like, you are a dumbass. I thought you learned your lesson from Destiny, but you obviously didn't. So she said she needs to call her mom. He says, put her on speakerphone. She says no. So she calls the person. Whoever she calls, I guess they asked her, was she on speakerphone? She says, oh no, you're not on speakerphone. I'm like, Shawn, you know what? Whatever happens to Shawn, he deserves it. Kelly, once again, like I always tell you every episode review, gather all the footage from WeTV. Right? Gather all the footage you can gather. Take that shit to court. Make this motherfucker pay. Like, put his ass on child support. Damn. Because, I mean, he ain't shit. He got money to spend on these women, but not your kids. Because I'm never going to get over that scene of him with your daughter at that motherfucking Players Closet. Now, once again, like I've said in last week's review and other reviews, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a thrift store. There's nothing wrong with it, but damn. Your kids, and you buying these women these expensive gifts? Yeah. No. Not cool. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop anything else. And share the video. And until the next one, you guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. All right, you guys. I'm off here. Bye, guys.